Does Jesus encourage us to still tithe? How terrible it will be for you legal experts and Pharisees. Hypocrites! You give to God a tenth of mint, dill, and cumin, but you forget about the more important matters of the law: justice, peace, and faith. You ought to give a tenth, but without forgetting about those more important matters. Matthew 23:23. Let's study the verse in context. Notice that Pharisees were not farmers, yet they did not pay in terms of money. Instead, they paid tithe in terms of agricultural products. Why? Because that's what the law says on what to give in 10%. Read Leviticus 27:30. Notice also that before Matthew 23:23 was mentioned, Jesus in Matthew 5:17 already said that he did not come to abolish the law but rather fulfills it. Under the law, the commandment on who shall collect the tithe was given to the descendants of Levi. Read Hebrews 7:5. It was their wage for the work they did on the temple, including assisting the Levitical priest. Read Numbers chapter 18. But in Hebrews 7:11-12, it was said that when there is a change of priesthood, there is a necessity also that the law must be changed. Here the change of the law would only take effect when the priesthood is changed. But when did the priesthood change to someone who came from the lineage of Judah, whose priesthood is in the order of Melchizedek? The answer to the question can be read in Hebrews 8:4, whereby it says if he were on earth, he would not be a priest, for there are already priests who offer the gifts prescribed by the law. Based on this verse, we can infer that while Jesus was on earth or did not yet ascend, the change of priesthood would not take effect, and therefore, the old or the Levitical priesthood were still functioning, offering gifts according to the law. In Matthew 23:23, Jesus was still on earth, thus his priesthood was not yet in effect, making the old Levitical priesthood still functioning. And because the Levitical priesthood was still effective, Levites were still required to assist the men do the works of the temple, and therefore their wage in return for that work still needed to be given. This was the law. And Jesus did not come to abolish the law, hence he still encouraged the Pharisees to tithe because that is what the law requires. But what happened after Jesus Christ ascended? Well, Jesus Christ's priesthood commences, and the old Levitical priesthood resigned from their duty. Thus Levites now have no priest to assist, and their work on the temple also ceases. And of course, no more work, no more pay also. But one might ask, Abraham gives tithes to Melchizedek. Since Jesus Christ is in the order of Melchizedek, should we not follow Abraham's example and also give to Jesus Christ? The answer is yes. But remember that Melchizedek collected the tithe personally from Abraham without Melchizedek asking Abraham to give. If we are to give to Jesus, who shall collect it when Jesus is not physically present to collect it? Did Jesus authorize someone so that if we give to them, it is as if we are giving to Jesus? The answer is yes. He did authorize someone, but not who you expect. They were the hungry, or thirsty, or a stranger, or needing clothes, or sick or in prison. Read Matthew 25:40.